So please welcome Miss Daniela Draugelis, who is the founder for Cultural Pathways. That means cultural intelligence.
When we live this globally mobile life, and working across cultures, actually, it's not easy. Managing people who come from different backgrounds, the local culture, the local values of the people that they have to manage.
Understand the culture of Pakistan or any other country.
Information ahead of time, finding resources, finding help, finding mentors, the motivation and the knowledge that you acquire. And again, as what I said, is finding the resources, finding the mentorship, finding...
What is the most challenging thing for high-profile executives here in Pakistan from the cultural perspective?
Values are and what the management style is, and what the organizational values are as well. Because let's be honest, each organization also has its own culture that is layered on top of the country's values. So it's really hard to pin down one particular issue.
Name two things Daniela loves about Pakistan.
Karachi biryani.
Okay. Oh, really so? Woo. Okay.
And I actually enjoy Sufi music.
Oh wow. Two things you want to improve in Pakistan.
Holes on the roads would be really nice.
Okay. All right. Number two?
And pollution.
Oh, for sure. Coffee with CEO program today with Women CEO Club. I'm having an amazing woman who is into a very unique industry. So please welcome Miss Daniela Draugelis, who is the founder for Cultural Pathways. That means cultural intelligence. Am I right, Daniela?
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yes. About her and the work she do, what she do is that all the foreigners here in Pakistan at the top positions, whether they are ambassadors, whether they are working with multinational or they are on some political agenda, she makes them easier to adjust here in Pakistan. Is that so?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things that I do because, when we live this globally mobile life, and working across cultures, actually, it's not easy, right? Is really understanding how to operate across cultures, how to bridge that gap when you are trying to work with people who are different than you are, managing people who come from different backgrounds, right? Especially, when managers come, as expats, on an expat assignment for, to work with multinational, corporations. It is quite challenging, right, to understand the local culture, the local values of the people that they have to manage. So it's not only, the physical move of, finding a house and moving to a new country, but it's all the challenges that come, that start after you have relocated to a new place. Yes. So that's what I do. I help them really understand, where their values lie and how to understand the local culture and how to bridge that gap, not necessarily to change who they are, but how to bridge that gap so they can work more effectively, understand each other, minimize differences, minimize conflicts, minimize misunderstandings as well.
Understanding
across
but how long you took to understand the culture of Pakistan or any other country?
It's sort of like riding a bicycle, I would say, right? In the beginning, it takes a long time and you think about it a lot, but then it sort of becomes a little bit easier every time you do it. I've lived this expat life now for over 15 years. So I've learned how to prepare for every move, getting a lot of information ahead of time, finding resources, finding help, finding mentors, right, to help me navigate the new culture. and taking time and being patient and exploring and connecting, with local people. So there is no set timeline. There is no formula, for success. For every person is a different and very unique experience. So, what I try to do is help people navigate the challenges of the transition, right, in their own way.
Imagine me, and I'm coming from the Foreign Service of Africa in Pakistan, and now I am here since last 3 months, but I'm not able to adjust myself. What do you think are the critical factors among festivals, food, talking to people, and so many other factors of cultural intelligence? What are the more crucial ones?
When we talk about cultural intelligence, we talk about several different things. We talk about, CQ drive, which is sort of your natural inclination, to sort of want to learn, and adapt to the new environment. Then it's the motivation and the knowledge that you acquire. And again, is what I said, is finding the resources, finding the mentorship, finding, where to find that information. And that's where, people like me can help. And it's also learning how to adapt and modify your behavior to the new culture. What I would say, you ask, what is the first thing? What is the first thing I would say is, don't be shy to get out there and explore, right? And that applies to Pakistan, and that applies to any new country, any new culture.
Go
right?
out. Just mingle with people.
Mingle, and the wonderful thing about Pakistan, for those of us who are English speakers, is that there's no language barrier. Right, so it's really easy to get to know people. People here in Pakistan are really hospitable, warm, welcoming. So that makes it really easy. But it's really about not being shy to go out, explore, get to walk around the streets, walk into the shops, and try the foods, and discover it on your own. Because if you're going to just stay in your house, hunker down, you're not going to learn about it.
What is the most challenging thing for high-profile executives here in Pakistan from the cultural perspective?
Again, I think it depends on the person, where they're coming from, what their cultural values are, and what their management style is. And what the organizational values are as well, because let's be honest, each organization also has its own culture that is layered on top of, the country's values. So it's really hard to pin down one particular issue. I think the most important thing is to really, for an executive who comes to Pakistan, to work with local staff, is to understand what their motivations and values are, and also understand what are the driving values of Pakistani culture, and then again how to bridge that
Name
gap.
2 things Daniela loves about Pakistan.
Karachi biryani.
Okay. Oh, really? So? Woo. Okay.
And I actually enjoy Sufi music.
Oh, wow. 2 things you want to improve in Pakistan.
Well, the potholes on the roads would be really nice.
Okay. All right. Number 2?
And pollution.
Oh, for sure. So define Daniela now. Who's Daniela as a person?
So, as a person, it's hard to separate the person from the professional, because I am one. But I am a global citizen who has, lived in 5 different countries.
Name them.
So I was born in Argentina to Lithuanian parents. They escaped during World War II from Lithuania. So I grew up in this cross-cultural environment. Then I moved to the United States after I completed my MBA. and have also lived in China, have lived in Indonesia, returned to the United States. Now I'm living in Pakistan. So I'm a citizen of the world, and I'm really passionate about being able to apply both my professional experience as an international business executive, which is something that I did for over 20 years, and my lived experience as an expat of over 15 years to help others understand how to work more effectively across culture, and also to live, and enjoy this expat life, which is also quite challenging. It is not easy. It does not come served on a silver platter, and it comes with a lot of challenges. So I help both the executives and the spouses and the families as well, right?
Thank you so much, Daniela. I wish good luck to Cultural Pathways, and I so look forward to you to entertain and to ease so many more executive foreigners here in Pakistan and make this their journey of Pakistan more beautiful and easy. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity.